begin with a shot of winning the election, you really need to have an engaging, realistic and relatable manifesto. This video is going to provide you with some top tips to create your own. We've asked our current sabbatical officers for some top tips as well. Keep watching to find out what they found useful when creating their own manifestos. So what is a manifesto and why is it important in the big elections? A manifesto is a public declaration of what you want to achieve if you were to be successful in the election. Students are keen to hear how you could change their lives at university for the better. A manifesto introduces students to you and your plans for the year ahead if you get elected. You're unable to run in the election without one, so they're a key part of your campaign's success. So where should you start with your manifesto? First things first is your name. Students need to know your name so they recognise it on the ballot paper when they go to vote. Also make sure you've got the full name of the position that you're standing for on your manifesto, whether it's president, vice president, union chair, etc., etc. Make it interesting and personable. Tell students a bit about who you are, where you're from, what course you study, what year you're in, if you've got any skills or experience that's relevant to the role. Make sure that they can relate to you as a person and as a student. Ensure you understand the remit of the role you're running for. This can really help to narrow down your ideas. Your manifesto should largely consist of what you would like to do if you do win the election. And lastly, election dates are super important. Make sure you state the date of voting so that students know when they can vote for you. For example, vote online at uwsunion.org.uk/vote from Monday the 7th of March to Thursday 10th of March. So what makes a winning manifesto? We thought we'd ask our current sabbatical officers what helped them when creating their manifestos. First up, we've got a top tip from Luke, our current VP Welfare and Wellbeing, on keeping your manifesto short and sweet.
First of all, keep your manifesto short. It's essentially an elevator pitch for when you're talking to students, convincing them to vote for you. So keep it snappy. You've only got a few seconds to convince them that they should vote for you.
As Luke said, you don't have long to make an impression on a student. If you have too many ideas, then a great way to simplify it is to create a mind map. Stick to 3 or 4 things you would like to change or improve within the university or the union. That way, students can clearly see what is important to you and how you would make those changes. Next up is a tip from VP Education Kevin. It's all about understanding the role so that your manifesto can be ambitious but realistic.
Do your research. Make sure that you understand the role you're standing for, what it entails, what you'll actually be doing during the role, and make sure to ask loads of questions to everyone in the union.
If you have great ideas but you're unsure whether they're achievable or not, just like Kevin said, make sure to chat to the union staff or the current sabbatical officers. They'll be able to help you find ways to achieve things that you want to do. No question is a silly question. Questioning is often how we learn best, so make sure if you have any questions that you do ask them. Also make sure to check out the job role profiles on the UWS Union website so that, as Kevin said, you'll understand the remit of what is required of you. The final tip from our sabbatical officers is to have fun with it. Your personality should shine through in your manifesto. Remember, students will vote for the person they can relate to the most.
Be yourself and have fun. What that means for you, make sure that you showcase your personality and smile and have fun. Thank you.
Enjoy your election campaign. Whilst it's a lot of work, it's also a lot of fun and hopefully really rewarding. So to summarise, tip number 1 from Luke was about keeping it simple. Don't overcomplicate your manifesto pledges. Stick to 3 or 4 key ideas. Tip number 2 from Kevin was all about being ambitious yet realistic and making sure you talk your ideas through. Finally, tip number 3 was about having fun and pacing yourself, making sure that your personality shines through in everything that you do during your campaign. As well as the election and candidate drop-in sessions, this year we will also have drop-in sessions for manifesto feedback. David Devlin, Head of Student Union Support Services, is offering 15-minute sessions for manifesto feedback. If you want one of these sessions, then just email david.devlin@uws.ac.uk to book in your 15-minute manifesto advice session. Make sure you and your team take the time to read all the candidate information on the union website. The last thing to say is good luck, and remember to check out the other videos in this series. We've got videos on election info, election rules, campaigning top tips, and intro to Canva.